Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to Carolina Softball Stadium for what is a highly anticipated midweek matchup between number 10 South Carolina and number 23 Clemson. Austin, I mean, it really needs no introduction, does it? But no, we're going to do it anyway.
We're going to do it anyway. This is a very highly anticipated matchup, like you just mentioned. There's a ton of people in the crowd, almost a sold-out crowd, for this ranked Clemson versus South Carolina matchup.
Yeah, it's Clemson softball team, very new. For South Carolina, this is the 52nd season in their history. But, you know, since Clemson came onto the scene in 2020, they lead the all-time series 6-2. They split the matchups last year with South Carolina winning up in the upstate with Clemson with a 7-0 victory down here in Columbia. Ashley Chastain Woodard and company are looking to really kind of turn that around and protect home field especially, which is something that they've done so well this year, Austin.
Absolutely. They've done a phenomenal job at it. They are now 20-3 at home after that Texas Tech series last weekend. So they're looking to continue defending home turf, and they're going up against a really strong charging Clemson team. They started rough this year. Now they're in the polls, like you mentioned, ranked 23rd, but South Carolina's done the same. They haven't always had this much success, but here they are in the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. And so to get into the matchup itself, Austin, why don't you tell us a little bit about how Clemson is lining up today?
Yeah, we're going to go in batting order, but I'm also going to mention where they're playing. And so at third base, we have Alex Brown, the senior. At second base, we have Maddie Moore. First base, Julia Noller. At designated player, Macy Cintron. At catcher, Abby Vieira. At shortstop, Marion Collins. Right field, Sam Minish. Left field, Kylie Johnson. And center field, Jay Brockenbrough. Yeah. And on the mound, in the circle, Reece Basinger.
Yes, and this is a lineup that's been very potent this year, Austin. You look at it, they are 20th in home runs, 15th in batting average, 17th in runs per game. And it's a pitching lineup that's kind of struggling a little bit. They're 242nd in hits allowed per game. They just don't really strike out too many people. They also don't really walk too many people. But for South Carolina, here's how the Gamecocks are lining up. Batting leadoff, playing in center field, is number 43, Quincy Lelio. Batting second at second base, number 33, Carly Shelton. Batting third at first base is number 16, Ariana Rohde, who was out for Sunday's game for where Spencer and I were against Texas Tech. So it's good to see her back in the lineup. Batting cleanup, it's the third baseman, number 2, Ella Chansey. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 15, Lexi Winters. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 7, Abigail Knight. Batting seventh, the designated player, number 21, Natalie Heath. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 4, Brooke Blankenship. And then batting ninth, the left fielder, number 17, Emily Vincent, with number 24, the right-handed pitcher, Neely Lamb, on the mound for the Gamecocks. A familiar position as she started Sunday's game against Texas Tech. Austin, for this game against Clemson, how does South Carolina look to bounce back after a tough loss on Sunday where they got out to a 5-0 lead and then the offense really kind of disappeared?
Yeah, disappeared is the perfect way to use that word when talking about the Gamecocks on Sunday. It was kind of shocking to me because they had such a strong weekend going up into that Sunday matchup. Obviously only had one run on Saturday due to Natalie Heath's lone home run in the fifth inning, but the offensive production has been there this year. I just want to see more of that tonight. I want to see them get bat on the ball, put it in the gaps, and just really attack this Clemson pitching core.
Yeah, and this is going to be a great matchup, in so many ways, but also it's Ashley Chastain Woodard, her first season as the new head coach here at South Carolina. It's her first taste as a coach of this action. Of course, she played here, but Austin, looking at it on Clemson's side of things, this is one of their last big chances out of conference to prove themselves. How are they approaching it after a 4-0 week or a 4-0 week last week that got them back into the polls?
Well, it's one game. It's one midweek game on a Tuesday evening. I think they're going all out. They're leaving it all out there on the field. I would assume the Gamecocks are doing so as well. But they're looking for this resume booster win that could propel them into the NCAA tournament at the end of the year. South Carolina, this is a big game for them too. This is, you mentioned at the beginning, they are 2-6 against Clemson, getting just one of those wins last year. So they're looking to continue boosting their resume, another ranked opponent on the schedule, another ranked out-of-conference opponent before going into SEC play.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because the series win against Texas Tech was South Carolina's third series win against a top 15 opponent, 2 of which coming in the non-conference, the sweep of number 8 Duke, and then the taking 2 out of 3 from number 13 Georgia and number 12 Texas Tech. So now another opportunity here against number 23 Clemson before they really kind of get into the meat of SEC play as they travel on the road to LSU, who is up to number 4 in the D1 softball poll. Austin, that's going to be a great matchup. But for South Carolina, you don't want to look too far ahead because you might overlook your rival here as we are about to get underway, 40 seconds away from the start of action.
Absolutely.
Batting leadoff for Clemson, it's Alex Brown, the third baseman, number 25, batting .434 on the year. This is her 34th start of the season. 2 home runs, 11 doubles, and 2 triples. For Neely Lamb, she had a good outing the other day, got her season ERA down to 3.19. So a 5-1 record on the campaign.
Yeah, and South Carolina's got a very strong offense. You know, they're second in the nation for doubles per game and sacrifice flies. Also ranked second in doubles, 9th in fielding percentage, 6th in walks, and a bunch of other leading categories. So they're looking for the defensive side of things to play into a factor tonight.
And the first pitch is in there and a little bit high. It jumps off the glove of Winters. So it's a 1-0 count to start things here for Alex Brown, the senior from Savannah, Georgia, batting .434 on the season with a 5.27 OBP and a 6.32 slugging. Lamb looking at her wrist, towing the rubber. The wind, she fires, and that one is high too. Brown has squared up to bunt on both of these first pitches, Austin, but nothing doing.
Yeah, definitely just looking to make contact here leading off the game. Not swinging at anything yet. We'll see what comes here.
Lamb sets, delivers, fires, and that one is in there for strike 1. So it's a 2-1 count now.
Showed bunt again.
Yeah, you know, Brown, it's not often you see a player who has this many extra base hits. But, you know, it's all about the coaching. It's about the approach. And Lamb is now going to fire here. Swung on and fouled back. That'll make it a 2-2 count.
That went off of Lexi Winters. They're going to come check on her real quick. She appears to be all right.
Yeah, I think it knocked her. Yeah, she's just hit her in the, I think the face mask of her catchers.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it got her up high, obviously off the bat of Alex Brown. That had some heat on it from Lamb, too.
Yeah, it did. I mean, that was a fastball right in there. And the 2 pitches she missed on were kind of rise balls, you know, going up. And she's settled down now and throwing some more straight line, straight cut fastballs. As Brown, we're going to resume play here. Brown's going to step in. Only 3 strikeouts on the season for Brown. Lamb is looking to make it 4 here in a 2-2 count. And Lamb's going to fire. Swung on and missed for the strikeout.
Great pitch by Lamb there and a great momentum starter. Got this very rowdy crowd into it. It's going to be all night that these teams are going to be going at it. So it's good to jump out ahead and get out of this first inning. That's a good start.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be it looks to be about a 50-50 crowd split here at Beckett Field. And that one is in there for a ball. So another first pitch ball in these at bats. This one to Maddie Moore, the senior from Loomis, California, who boasts a .849 slugging percentage, Austin.
And it leads the team in average. She has a .473 there.
That one is in there for ball 2. So Neely Lamb falling behind in the count yet again.
And to the chagrin of the crowd, you can hear the groan.
Yeah, and she's only walked 12 batters on the season. As the scoreboard seems to have gone out here. Lamb toes, delivers. And that one misses high with the rise ball again. So a 3-0 count here for Moore.
Yeah, Lamb likes to revert to that rise ball when she can't really figure something out. I'd like to see her take a little bit off on a few of these pitches, really catch them off guard.
And now Lamb delivering, and that one's in there for the strike.
Maddie Moore thought she had the walk there on 4 straight, but home plate umpire says no. That was Eddie Hall, who did the game last weekend as well, or the games, excuse me, against Texas Tech.
Yeah, now a 3-1 count. The pitch delivered, swung on, hit to second base, fielded, fired to first for the easy out. That one, Shilton Dorati. And South Carolina, 2 outs here in the first inning. It'll be Julia Noller, the sophomore from Fort Myers, Florida, stepping in. Austin, you know, this Clemson lineup, it slugs. A .736 slugging percentage here for the 3-hole hitter, Noller.
Yeah, she's had 110 at-bats. She knows how to get on base, has that 355 batting average, 39 hits on the season.
As that pitch is in there for the first pitch strike. So an 0-1 count here. Lamb getting off to the right foot. You know, Noller has a 355 batting average, but a 359 batting average with 2 outs. So she's one of those players that gets even better with her back up against the wall. The pitch here, it bounces in for ball 1. Got away from Winters, but no one on base to take advantage of it. And Clemson's dugout getting chirping a little bit. It's a rivalry matchup. We're going to see this all night long, and South Carolina's going to be doing their fair share. Lamb now checking her wrist, gets the signal. Looking in. She winds, fires, swung on and missed.
So they just chirped her for pitching one in the dirt. That was also in the dirt right over her feet, and she swung at that one. So I'm sure the South Carolina dugout has something to say about that one.
Yeah, the drop ball there got Noller to chase. And now it's a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Lamb toes, fires, and that one bounces off the plate, off the glove of Winters, all the way to the backstop.
I want to go back to the rivalry statement. I mean, Chastain Woodard, first year here, she did pitch here, obviously, but Clemson has not had a softball team when she was here. So she doesn't truly know how it feels. Obviously, she's a Gamecock, so she knows how much this fan base hates the other side. But this is a big one for all the players on the field.
As Lamb looks in, she fires, swung on and missed.
That's exactly what I said earlier. Take a lot off of it. That's kind of the first time she's done that. So, you know, Noller wasn't really expecting it, and she was way ahead of that one.
Yeah, got her with the curveball. Nothing doing in the top of the first. It's 0-0, Clemson and South Carolina. We head now to the home half. We'll be back here after a quick little break. And here we are, here for the bottom of the first inning between number 10 South Carolina and number 23 Clemson. Austin, I think I'd like to rescind my previous comment. As Sandstorm rings out and you see all the towels going, I think it's more of a 70-30 crowd split in favor of the Gamecocks. But tell us a little bit about who's leading it off here in the bottom of the first for South Carolina.
Yeah, Quincy Lilio, she's had a good year, a 449 batting average in 89 at-bats. She has 40 hits, 8 doubles, contributing to that nation-leading doubles statistics. So definitely knows how to get on base, and she knows how to do it in a powerful way.
Absolutely. She had a little bit of a rough outing against Texas Tech, and that first pitch is high for a ball, I think, on the rise ball from Reece. Base singer, a 2.02 ERA on the campaign, a 10-3 record, 76 strikeouts in 90 innings pitched. This is one of the best starting pitchers in the country, Austin, as that one is in there, and it's for a strike, so it'll even up the count at 1-1.
Good hit to the left side, excuse me. That went off of the glove of Collins.
This is what I get for scoring for 2 seconds. But yeah, Lilio jumps on that one and knocks it off the glove of the shortstop.
Maria
Collins. Yep.
Yeah, it looked like she was going to pull some Jeter-esque move and kind of backhand that one, but that was just a hard hit ball from Lilio, and she's on base.
Absolutely. That'll bring up Carly Shelton, the sophomore from Lexington, South Carolina, bats .358 on the season. The lefty. Lefty on righty matchup. And that one is in there for a ball. Didn't miss by much, but South Carolina will take it. Basinger, you know, opponents are batting 180 with runners on against her on the campaign here as she fires in for ball 2. That one, I believe that was a curveball. Misses it down and away to Shelton. Shelton with 17 walks on the season. It's 2-0 count. Basinger fires in. And that one misses. So she's trying to work away from Shelton.
Yep.
The umpire's not giving it to her. It's a 3-0 count here for Shelton.
Yeah, Eddie Hall has been calling a tight box tonight behind home plate.
Yeah, and Shelton, she shows slap hit, but then she takes ball 4, and that will get runners on first and second here for South Carolina. It'll bring up Ariana Rhodey, the junior from Cranston, Rhode Island, with 10 home runs on the season, 30 walks, a slugging percentage of almost 900. The right-handed hitter, definitely South Carolina's premier bat, batting third here.
It's good to see her back in the lineup as that's down and away, but she missed the Texas Tech series this weekend. I called the Friday and Saturday game, and then you were here on Sunday, and you know she has, I think it was day to day they were listing it as. So just glad to see she's back in the lineup. You mentioned it. She has reached base in 22 straight games. She ranks 3rd nationally in walks per game, 21st in on-base percentage, and then that slugging statistic like you mentioned. So I think the 3 spot is a great spot to hit in the lineup for number 16.
Yeah, as we're going to resume action here after there's a little bit of a mound visit as the first pitch from Basinger was a ball. So she's on ball, I believe, 5. And the South Carolina dugout is letting her know that. She's going to fire in there, and it swung on and hit foul, bounced off the base for strike 1. Rhodey's going to step out while they clean home plate. I mean, that could have been really tough for South Carolina. You know, that could have at least been 1 out, maybe 2, if Rhodey's not able to run that one out.
And if Clemson was smart, which I assume they are, they were going to throw that one to third base and get Lulio out. So nobody's advancing. It's just.
Yeah, and here's the 1-1 pitch. In there low for ball 2. That one was I believe a drop ball. It was moving a little bit faster than you would think a curveball would move. But for Basinger, someone of this talent, it could be anything. And she looks in. She's going to fire now. Swung on and hit to deep left center. It's going, it is gone into the camera well. A 3-run home run for South Carolina in the bottom of the 3rd. Puts them up 3-0 on the Tigers.
And that's huge. That's exactly what I was talking about just a few minutes ago. The offensive production needed to show up tonight, and that is what you get when you get Ariana Rhodey back in the lineup. That's a big shot to left center and a big lead early on.
For Rhodey, it's her 11th home run of the season and her 34th RBIs. You know, just a tremendous player and one that had been sorely missed in the Gamecock lineup. And now Ella Chansey with the chance to add on. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 1st. As Basinger, she's going to fire in. And that one misses high for ball 1.
Ella Chansey from Athens, Georgia. Her former school was Charlotte. She followed Chastain Woodard over to South Carolina, as a bunch of other players did as well.
Yeah, one of many transfers on this squad as that pitch is in there for strike 1. Basinger on the board. It's a 1-1 count for Chansey, who, you know, is a mean base runner. She can leg out extra base hits like the best of them. And that one is sent into left field, but it's going to be fielded nicely by Johnson for the first out here in the 1st inning. So Basinger allows the 3-run home run, but she gets an out right afterwards. Austin, you know, how key is it for her to have a clean rest of this inning to kind of get her confidence back and keep her team still in it?
Oh, very. You don't want to let this blow more out of proportion than it already has. This is a great start for the Gamecocks, and if the Gamecocks can continue to add to this lead and build that cushion, that's going to give Neely Lamb a chance to breathe. That won't suffocate her in the circle. So good start for the Gamecocks, and for Clemson, Basinger is trying to get out of this quickly.
Yeah, and she bounced the first pitch there for ball 1. Second pitch of the at-bat coming in, and that one misses high. So, you know, drop ball, bounces off home plate. Rise ball misses high. And Lexi Winters is the benefactor of a 2-0 count, batting .338 on the season. She has 8 walks on the campaign, and that one almost hits her. That'll be a 3-0 count.
That looked like it was going to be a curveball, just kind of slipped away from her.
Yeah.
She's rubbing her hand in the dirt, trying to get some grip back on it.
Yeah, only 4 strikeouts on the season for Winters, the catcher. She shows bunt, but it's in there for the first strike. So a 3-1 count now.
I give the green light to Chansey here, or excuse me, Winters. This will be a good opportunity to, with 1 out, 3-1 count.
You'd think you're going to get a pitch to hit, and we'll see a 3-1 count. That one is sent into right field, but it's going to hang up there and be caught by Minish. So the second out here, and they've been flyouts to both corners.
Yep.
So if Basinger can avoid center field, Abigail Knight, however, is going to be looking to send one right where Rhodey did. She has 2 home runs on the season. The 6th-year senior from Robbinsville, North Carolina, steps in, the left-handed hitter. Basinger looks, fires in, and it bounces in there for ball 1. Just to put it into perspective, Basinger is the ERA, strikeout, and wins leader for this Clemson squad. And now the second pitch fires on, and it's belted into the left center and drops for a base hit. So another hit here for South Carolina, and that gets Abigail Knight on.
I said it in the pregame. I said I want to see Carolina try and hit it in the gaps, and good things will happen. Obviously, over the fence is a pretty good gap to hit it in, but doing little bloopers like that, just getting on base, keeping the inning going, that's exactly what Chastity Woodard wants out of her offense.
Now stepping in, number 21, the designated player, Natalie Heath. That first pitch is up there for strike 1. Caught the top of the zone, so an 0-1 count here with 2 away. With 2 outs, opponents are batting .186, but Natalie Heath has great power. 6 home runs on the campaign, a .763 slugging percentage as that one is put out into left center, but it's going to die right before the warning track and is fielded nicely by Kelly Johnson. Kylie Johnson, not Kelly Johnson. Kelly Johnson was the Braves player back in the day. But hey, a great first inning for South Carolina. They lead 3-0 after 1. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here for the top of the second. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here for the top of the second. As one of the more polarizing players on this Clemson squad is stepping in, it's Macy Cintron, the true freshman, a 2-way player. As the first pitch from Lamb is in there for strike 1. Austin, tell us a little bit about Cintron.
Yeah, Cintron has that .326 average. Has gone yards 6 times this year, has a 26 RBI statistic. So she knows how to bat him in, but she's leading off this inning because of the 3 up, 3 down that Clemson did last inning.
Yeah, a great 4-hole hitter here. 2 doubles, 6 home runs, 16 walks. The freshman from Georgia. As it's a 1-1 count here for Neely Lamb, who had a very clean top of the first. She looks to continue that. That pitch is in there for strike 2. Fastball in there. Opponents batting leadoff are just .237 against Lamb. Cintron looking in a 1-2 count. And she winds, fires, swung on, fouled back here. If there hadn't been a net, that might have been we might have been able to play that, Austin.
I'm not going to lie. I flinched just a tad. I was ready for it, but this crowd is really into it on the defensive side as well. During the break, we saw Clemson fans trying to get the CL whatever chant going back into it, but it's been all Gamecocks so far.
Lamb looks at her wrist, sets, winds, delivers, swung on, and fouled away. Cintron just staying alive. She's really a three true outcomes player. She is she has 14 strikeouts on the season, which isn't too bad, but it's, I believe, second on her team. Lots of walks, lots of power, just not much of anything else at the moment. Lamb sets, winds, delivers, and that one taken for ball 2. So Cintron, she almost went, kind of held herself up there, and it bounced in on the curveball.
Yeah, she's doing a good job staying alive in this at bat and keeping up Neely Lamb's pitch count.
Now Neely Lamb going to deliver here, swung on, fouled again back here. Hit the top of the netting.
I was about to say, that one almost got over it.
Yeah, we would have had to have quick hands, like Kelly Johnson of the Braves. Not Kelly Johnson playing here, because there isn't a Kelly Johnson playing here. But anyway, here in a 2-2 count. This has been an impressive at-bat by Cintron for just a true freshman getting her first taste of this Clemson-Carolina rivalry. The righty steps in. Lamb toes the rubber. Looking at her wrist, gets the sign. Sets, winds, delivers, swung on, and fouled away. I couldn't tell if she quite got a piece of it or not. I didn't hear anything.
It was quiet. It must have gone off the handle of her bat because it was pretty quiet and just came straight back. But this has to be like the 8th or 9th pitch of the at-bat out already. This is a big-time battle.
It's been a great one to see. Lamb looking into her wrist. It's a 2-2 count. Winds, fires, misses. Down and away with the changeup.
They try to get her to chase it there. Good job by Cintron staying composed and not swinging at something way outside in the dirt.
The count runs full now for Cintron, who has 16 walks on the season. And Lamb fires in. That one is hit over to first base, but caught. So Ariana Rhodey retires her off the soft fly ball for the first out here in the top of the second.
Well, Rhodey's had a good start to this game. The 3-run homer in the bottom of the first. A good defensive play there. Had to really go up and get it. But finally, the at-bat's over, and there's one out away in the top of the second.
Yep, and now stepping in, it's the catcher, the senior from Mission Viejo, California, Abby Vieira. And Lamb's pitch is fouled down the third base line.
Had some good power behind that one, just a little behind, and it's a 0-1 count.
Yeah, and Vieira batting .402 on the season with a .598 slugging, .466 OBP, 12 doubles, and 2 home runs. The lefty with the lefty-righty matchup here. And Lamb, she sets, delivers, misses inside for ball 1. That one just barely missed. I mean, the strike zone is what it is both ways, which is what you want it to be.
Right.
But both pitchers are going to have to work around that now, have to attack these hitters more. And here comes the 1-1 pitch from Lamb. Misses high. So the rise ball there doesn't get Vieira to chase. And it's a 2-1 count.
Yeah, I think that's made Clemson so successful this season is their batting IQ. They've been really smart inside the batter's box.
Lamb to deliver now. That one misses up and in. So it's a 3-1 count for Vieira. Lamb has just 12 walks issued on the season. Does not like giving out free passes, but she's in danger here. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Abby Vieira couldn't quite catch up to the heater there. Up and away. And the count runs full, 3-2. So back-to-back full counts. The Clemson batters are at least making Lamb work, Austin.
Absolutely, and Vieira definitely got the green light on that one. She took a big hack at it.
Yes, and now the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, hit left side, through for a base hit. So Vieira has the first hit for Clemson on the day.
And that's the perfect at-bat in the Clemson mindset. You know, work the count, work Lamb, get her arms swinging around like that as much as you can, and then hit it right in the gap and get on base. Perfect job by Clemson there, and that brings up Marion Collins.
Yeah, Marion Collins, another freshman. So this Clemson team in a little bit of a transitional year. Lots of freshmen, but they're very talented. Collins, one of them, batting .353. And this pitch is in there for strike one. Catches the outside corner.
Lexi Winters stared down Vieira. Little catcher-on-catcher matchup. She says, "You're not running on me."
Yeah, and Winters has an impressive pop time. We saw it on display against Texas Tech. Now Lamb, the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Collins not quite able to catch up to it.
Yeah, now she's found herself in a hole here at this at-bat. With one out, you're kind of playing with fire here.
For Clemson, you want to avoid that double play, but you got to protect the plate. So you could be looking to induce weak contact with your Lamb. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed for the strikeout. So another strikeout for Neely Lamb. It's her third of the day. And an impressive hitter to strike out, someone who doesn't give it up that easy.
Absolutely not. And now another batter with a great on-base percentage at .494, Sam Minish, batting in the 7-hole.
Yeah, the 7-hole hitter is going to launch this one to center field. Lilio tracking it back, and she's going to settle right before the warning track and collect it for the third out of the inning. So, one base hit, runner left on first. Nothing doing for Clemson in the top of the second. We head now to the home half with the score, South Carolina 3, Clemson 0. Going to take a quick break here, and we'll join you for the home half of things. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here for the home half of the second inning. The score, number 10 Clemson 3, number 10 South Carolina 3, number 23 Clemson 0. Batting leadoff here for the bottom of the second against the Tigers. It's Brooke Blankenship, the shortstop. The senior from Hudson, Florida, holds a .324 batting average on the season, but had a little bit of a troublesome weekend.
And after a big first inning, the Gamecocks are already batting on the 8th hole, so Quincy Lilio is going to bat this inning, and she's leading off the lineup, the batting lineup. So great job by Carolina getting through the order quickly.
Yeah, and Blankenship, for an 8-hole hitter, .324 average will play 1 million times out of 10.
Absolutely.
It's an 0-1 count there as Basinger was able to get the first pitch strike, and now that one's fired in, misses high for ball one. So a 1-1 count. Clemson wearing orange jerseys and white pants. Carolina in all white. Here for today's matchup. And what is a beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky in Columbia. The 1-1 pitch misses up and in. Almost clips Blankenship. But the count runs 2-1 now. And that one is fouled away, leaving the count up at 2-2. Blankenship, someone who doesn't strike out very often, or at least comparatively to the rest of her team, maybe she does. South Carolina, a team that ranks in the tops of the country in terms of strikeout percentage. But
and she led Florida State last season in sacrifice bunts with 6. So, or 2 seasons ago. Excuse me.
And that one is lofted into right center, but the ranging catch from the second baseman Moore, Maddie Moore, playing well into shallow right field, makes the over-the-shoulder catch for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, great play there by Moore. That's going to bring up Emily Vinson, the senior left fielder, who doesn't have the best batting average. Is a great defender, plays a great left field position, but just needs to get it going at the plate here.
Yeah, the senior right-hander looks at the first pitch for a strike. That one was a changeup that misses, or that hit right down and in on Vinson, and now Basinger looking to just kind of settle in after a tough first inning. She's already working again. That one's fired and right to the glove of Moore. Maddie Moore having herself a spectacular inning, showing off the vertical and horizontal range. For the second out of the inning, she lunges out and stabs that one out of the air.
Yeah, you might see that one on SportsCenter Top 10 Plays tomorrow. That was a beautiful grab. Came off the bat really quick, and I know I was giving Vincent a hard time with her being at the plate and struggling, but
that one's a bunt from Lilio, and the ball is just thrown where the second baseman was. Lilio's going to coast into second.
Oh, geez.
She nearly got picked off at second. But yeah, Lilio lays down the bunt. I didn't know if that one was going to stay fair or not. It did, and Vieira for Clemson just launched it in the hole where Maddie Moore was. So I would probably score that one as a error.
I'm still trying to piece together what happened. It looked like it went off the off of home plate, so I thought
it would be foul.
Eddie Hall was going to call a foul, and then, yeah, like you said, the error, just throwing it away into right field was very strange to me.
And Basinger working on Carly Shelton now with the first pitch strike. Shelton walked in the first inning.
Well, this is good for the Gamecocks. 2 outs, didn't have it really at the bottom of the lineup. Lilio gets now a error-based double.
And that one is shot into left center. That one's going to roll to the wall. Lilio's rounding third. She's going to score. Shelton into second. A stand-up RBI double for Carly Shelton. Extends South Carolina's lead to 4-0.
Well, right in the middle of saying this is a great opportunity to capitalize on a mistake from the Tigers, they gave them a gift, putting Lilio on second, and then Carly Shelton puts it exactly where she needs to be. Left center's been really, really good to the Gamecocks today so far, as we're going to get our first circle visit of the day.
Yeah, Clemson head coach John Rittman walking out to meet his ace, Basinger. Just a tough go of events for her, because it really looked like she was out of the inning with the bunt from Lilio. The error on that, maybe it should have been foul. Surprised Clemson. I don't know if you can challenge that, but they didn't.
It didn't seem as though they were too upset about it. They kind of were more upset at the error they made, the mistake they made. They weren't necessarily yelling at Eddie Hall, Cameron Ellison, or Donald Brown, our officiating crew today. But they're out there talking Basinger now. They disperse, and now we'll go back to their positions. I don't know, just a very interesting couple of plays there.
And that's what's so good about the South Carolina team this year. You can't leave the door open, because then they're gonna blow it off the hinges. And now Ariana Rhodey, who hit a 3-run home run in the first inning, she's got a runner in scoring position in the second. That pitch is up and in for ball one.
Well, normally the third inning is the best for these Gamecocks. They outscore their opponents 30-8 in the third inning this season. So already having a 4-0 lead and potentially more is big.
Basinger's pitch misses down and away. That one was a tough take for Rhodey, but it sets up a 2-0 count here with 2 away, runner on second. Carly Shelton there after the double that brought in Lilio. Rhodey looking to collect her 4th RBI of the day. That one misses high. It'll be a 3-0 count for Ariana Rhodey, who has 30 walks on the year already. That's more than she has hits, and she bats 400 on the season. Basinger looking in on her wrist, gets the signal. Winds, fires, and it's in there for a strike. So Rhodey was taken all the way there, and Basinger gets over a get-her-over strike. It sets up a 3-1 count. Basinger now looking to work quickly. Winds, fires, and that one's in there. So the count runs full now, 3-2. And Nice little drop ball catching the corner of the zone there, Austin.
Yeah, that was a great pitch by Basinger. She's worked all the way back in this count. This is a big pitch here.
Absolutely. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up into shallow left field. And Clemson, a little bit of a miscommunication there, but it was Kylie Johnson ranging in to make the catch to retire the inning. 1 run scores on a Carly Shilton double that drove in Quincy Leolio. It is a 4-0 lead for South Carolina. We're going to head to the top of the third. We'll see you guys after the break. And we are here now for the top of the third inning as Clemson's looking to scratch some runs back and get back into this one as they trail number 10 South Carolina 4-0. Austin, for Clemson, you know, Neely Lamb is a very good pitcher they're going up against, but when Lamb does allow a hit, 13 of her 27 hits allowed on the season have gone for extra bases. This is a Clemson team that can mash. They're thinking that 4-0 isn't that big of a deficit, is it, Austin?
Absolutely not. That could be, as we've seen already in the first inning with Ariana Rohde's 3-run shot to left center, that it could be a race just like that. So it's going to be a dogfight all the way to the end, and this one's never over until it's over.
And stepping in, the sophomore from Wesley Chapel, Florida, Kylie Johnson fouls that one back towards the netting for an 0-1 count here. Johnson bats just 196 on the season, but has a 302 OBP based off 6 walks. And when she gets on the base pass, she can be trouble. 5 stolen bases on the campaign. We've called her name a lot tonight, making plays in left field. So the 8-hole hitter looking to spark a rally here for Clemson in the third. This one is fired on high for ball 1.
Yeah, Neely Lamb needs to just keep doing what she's doing. She's kept everything in front of her. She's got 3 strikeouts today, but the defense behind her has been magnificent so far. That's where things could get tricky if Clemson puts it in the gaps. As long as they stay in front of the ball, they'll be good. And
Lamb gets another foul ball here. That one hits the top of the inning as well. And that's been the big thing. It's been a lot of weak contact for Clemson so far. Lamb has been able to induce really nothing particularly dangerous. And now it's a 1-2 count to work with, already with 3 Ks on the day. Lamb looks in, sets, winds, fires. That one misses high for ball 2. Clemson dugout looking to breathe some life into things as Neely Lamb checks her wrists. Looks in, sets, winds, fires. That one is popped up. Winters ranging over, makes the catch up against the netting for the first out of the inning.
Well, like you said, weak contact has been a story, especially on the Clemson side. That was another one that kind of just took a backspin off the top of the bat. Great play by Lexi Winters tracking over and making the play right by the South Carolina dugout.
And now Jamison Brockenbrough steps in, the left-handed hitter, batting .293, but 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and 16 walks on the season. This 9-hole hitter is really nothing to play with. The junior from Locust Grove, Georgia, watches ball 1. I couldn't tell where that missed, Austin.
Yeah, to be honest, I was kind of looking at where everyone's playing. During the Texas-Tech series, we saw a lot of shifts from the South Carolina defense. I was interested to see if they were doing something for Brockenbrough.
And Brockenbrough looking there as it's ball 2. So a 2-0 count here. 16 walks for Jamison on the season. And now Lamb looking in. Sets, winds, delivers. And that one's in there for strike 1.
So Lamb battling back in this at-bat with 1 away. This is a good opportunity for her to get ahead of the inning.
2-1 count here to Jamison Brockenbrough. Lamb, the 2-1 pitch is hit over to second base, fired over to Rhodey for the second out. Shelton making a nice play there, calm, collected scoop, and it's already 2 outs.
And so it's the 3rd inning, and just now we're getting back to the top of Clemson's lineup. That's just a testament to how good South Carolina's defense and pitching has been so far.
Yeah, just 1 hit allowed, no errors, no walks. Alex Brown. Lamb sets, winds, fires, and that one misses for ball 1. A little bit of a curveball there. Brown, a .626 slugging percentage, 8 stolen bases, 20 walks, prototypical leadoff hitter. And the lefty looking to spark a 2-out rally, and that fastball is in there for strike 1, so a 1-1 count.
She took a lot off that first pitch, really lofted it in there. Didn't get the call she liked, so she went right back at her.
And Brown, one of those players, like I said, you know, with their backs against the wall, she bats .440 with 2 outs. That fastball runs inside for the strike. A 1-2 count here with 2 away. Neely Lamb looking to emphatically get out of this one. Just 44 pitches so far for Lamb. She looks in. She sets. The 1-2 pitch. Hit up the middle for a base hit. Alex Brown collects Clemson's second base hit of the night. And so with 2 away, that'll bring up Maddie Moore, who had a great bottom of the 2nd inning with the glove, given a chance here with the bat.
Back against the wall, though, for Alex Brown, like you just mentioned, and then right on cue, a base hit, keeping this inning alive.
And with runners on, Maddie Moore bats .552, and Ashley Chastain-Woodard is coming out to the mound. They're just going to talk a little bit.
Yeah, they want to make sure Lamb's still good mentally.
Someone's been warming in the bullpen. I don't know if they're going to quite make the call or not, but.
Well, we saw it in the Texas Tech series this past weekend that, Joey Hurd would usually start the game, and then Sam Gress would kind of come in, and they would split it perfectly right down the middle.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if they're going to do that same strategy today.
South Carolina, starter is a bit of a loose term. Lamb, this is her 8th start of the season, but her 15th appearance. So, women of many hats. And it looks like Lamb is going to stay in there with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Moore batting .552 with runners on. A slugging percentage of .840, 8 homers. So if anyone could do damage here and get Clemson back in it, one swing could cut it in half. Lamb winds, fires. In there for a strike. The rise ball clips the top of the zone.
Moore thought about it, but thought better against it. That's going to work out for Lamb.
Yeah, now Lamb looking to work quickly. Looking at her wrist. Sets, winds, delivers, swung on and fouled away. That one got a piece of the umpire mask.
Yeah, Eddie Hall picking up his face mask that fell off on contact. Just checking to make sure he's all right.
I think the bat might have hit him from the backswing of Moore. Training staff checking him out, so is his fellow umpires. He's all good. He's going to stay in.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of instances where that's happened tonight. A hard foul ball off the bat. Like you mentioned, that one might have been in the backswing, but that was Lexi Winter's second hit off the wrist as well.
Yeah, and so Maddie Moore down in an 0-2 count with 2 away. Neely Lamb looking to get out of it. Runner on first for Clemson. Lamb sets the 0-2 pitch. Bounces in for ball 1. Didn't quite get Moore to chase. Went with a changeup there low below the zone. And now it's a 1-2 count. Alex Brown on first. after the base hit up the middle. Neely Lamb sets, winds, fires, fouled away. Moore staying alive.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times today as well. Clemson at bats, just, they'll get down in the count and then they'll kind of work their way back into it. Haven't really been able to make anything out of it, like runs-wise, or they don't have anything to show for it, I should say. But they're doing a really good job of staying in these at-bats and battling back.
Now the 1-2 count. Lamb looking to get out of it. She fires. Misses high and away for ball 2. Evens up the count here. So a 2-2 count, 2 outs. Maddie Moore up to plate for Clemson. Lamb sets, winds, fires, and that one is popped up down the third base line and collected nicely by Chansey for the 3rd out of the inning. So Clemson threatens again with another base runner, but they can't advance them. The score still South Carolina 4, Clemson 0. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. We'll see you guys after the break. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on SGTV for the bottom of the 3rd inning between Clemson and South Carolina. If you're just now joining us, things started off with a bang in the bottom of the 3rd as Ariana Rhodey had a 3-run home run for South Carolina to give them a 3-0 lead. And then in the 2nd inning, an error with 2 outs gave South Carolina a runner in scoring position in the form of Quincy Lilio. And then Carly Shelton knocked her in with an RBI double. That's how we've gotten to our score between number 10 South Carolina and number 23 Clemson. Austin, how imperative is it to Clemson to just have a nice, clean goose egg put up on the scoreboard here?
Well, every single bounce seems to have been going South Carolina's way so far. I think they just want, again, another clean inning. Just keep everything in front of them, nothing in the gaps. They want to keep everything as tight as they can. Maddie Moore has done everything she could over there at second base, making a couple highlight grabs. But Basinger just looking to keep it on the ground, nothing in the air, unless it's a routine fly out. So I'm sure she was in the dugout trying to figure out what she's going to throw to Chansey, Winters, and Knight, the 3 that are due up to start this inning.
That's the thing. Every single out has been up in the air. It's either been a line out or a fly out. For Ella Chansey, who's leading off the bottom of the 3rd for the Gamecocks, it was a fly out to left field in the 1st inning. But she bats 300, and when leading off an inning, she bats 333. 19 walks on the campaign. And that one misses for a ball. So a 1-0 count to start this one off. Basinger still in for Clemson. Winds and fires in for a strike.
Ella Chansey, one of those Charlotte transfers that follow Chastain Woodard. She's a 2024 first-team All-AAC and a 2024 AAC All-Tournament team. So she's got some records to her name.
And now she's in a favorable count as the count runs to 2-1 after the rise ball misses high from Basinger. Basinger's really struggled with letting the leadoff on in this season as a whole. But that one's in for strike 2. 2-2 count now. Deuce is wild. But batting leadoff in an inning, opponents are hitting .364 off the Clemson ace, who normally is very good. Like I said, the club leader. And that one misses inside. Just barely on the changeup.
Yeah, that was close. I was a little uncertain of that. I think Ella Chansey was too. She kind of checked her swing.
But now the count runs full, so Basinger looks, fires, and it's swung on and fouled back. Barely got a piece of it there to stay alive, did Chansey.
Yeah, but that's all you need, so now you get another crack at the at-bat against Basinger. Just another chance to get that lead off, single, double, walk, whatever it may be.
The 3-2 pitch. Misses for ball 4. Ella Chansey draws her 20th walk of the season. And the leadoff is on for South Carolina. It'll be Lexi Winters, the catcher, stepping in. 0 for 1 on the night. She flew out to right field in the first inning. But a big-time power threat, a .605 slug percentage. That pitch misses high for ball 1.
Yeah, Lexi Winters knows how to hit with runners on base as well. She's got 29 RBIs on the year.
Yeah, .311 batting with runners on. And Chansey taking off for second base. She's in there, safe.
Vieira didn't really pop up too quickly there. I don't even think she saw Chansey kind of take off. Chansey was halfway down the base path before Vieira even got the ball out.
Yeah, that was a tough break. Chansey was all the way at second before Vieira even popped into third, but I think they're going to challenge. Or they might be making
there are a couple in the bullpen for Clemson.
They might be making some changes or a substitution of sorts.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what it is.
Well, I can tell you, for Clemson, number 2, Brooke McCubbin, the senior right-handed pitcher, is taking the mound. Basinger's day is done.
Yeah, and I think this is a good move. Basinger's just been kind of wild today. Hasn't really been able to get a good grasp on the ball, on her pitches either. I think this is the change they need. Clemson needs some spark. They don't have that spark of the game yet. They don't have that one play that's kind of really shifted momentum. It's been all Carolina so far. And after that steal, after another pitch in the dirt, it's been a little ugly for Clemson. So I don't hate the change here.
No, McCubbin actually has the second most starts on the team. The senior from Locust Grove, Georgia, has been around the way for the Tigers. A 3.02 ERA on the season with a 6-4 record and a 51-15 strikeout to walk ratio in 62 2/3 innings. And with the runner in scoring position, they just wanted to maybe change some things up a little bit. And with Lexi Winters, who hits very well with runners in scoring position, batting .324 in those situations. 13 extra base hits on the season.
Yeah, she's got a 2-0 count in her favor with 0 outs. She can be aggressive here.
The 2-0 count. First pitch in there for a strike for McCubbin. The 2-1 count. It's rare you see someone brought in to pitch mid at bat.
That's why I was confused as to what the meeting was going to be. And then we saw McCubbin come out of the dugout.
And Winters way out in front of that one. That one bounced in front of home plate. Winters had committed to the swing. And so it's a 2-2 count now. So 2 pitches, 2 strikes for McCubbin. The 2-2 pitch. Hit down the third base line. Thought that one was going to go foul. They called it. Yeah, okay.
Eddie Hall from behind home plate called it foul.
Shout out, Eddie.
I was a little confused because third base umpire Donald Brown didn't really make any gestures. Didn't call it fair or foul. So Eddie Hall stepped in and made the decision.
Yeah, now.
I think that worked out for Lexi Winters, too. I don't think she was going to beat that one out.
And it wouldn't have moved the runner over.
Absolutely
so that probably would have been the worst case scenario.
That was a good arm from Alex Brown.
McCubbin in there, and it's now hit to the third baseman. Fires over to first for the out.
A little deja vu. This time it's just fair. But
yep, and Alex Brown with a nice, calm, collected play. And, I guess Winters was just committed to hitting that one down the line. Now stepping in is Abigail Knight, 1 for 1 on the day with a single. And that pitch is in there low for ball 1. So McCubbin gets in, gets one out, looking to get out of this one without allowing another run. And for South Carolina, they need to take advantage of these opportunities as this pitch swung on and missed. Knight, you know, she tried to check her swing but couldn't hold it back.
I was just about to say that was not a full swing from her. She was just unsure on that one.
Yeah, I mean, she went so far forward. I was like, well, if she had hit it, it probably would have been a really bad bunt attempt. McCubbin now, the 1-1 pitch. Misses low for ball 2. But for South Carolina, you know, they scored very early and often against Texas Tech in that Sunday matchup. Didn't score the rest of the game, so they got to keep adding on when they get these opportunities. Pitch is in there for strike 2.
I was going to mention with runners in scoring position, it's very important that Carolina keeps moving them around. You know, you get a leadoff double. You want to make sure that you can score them.
And that pitch is rocketed into right. If it's fair, no, it's going to fall.
Great diving effort there by Sam Minish. She's a little shaken up. When the ball hit right in front of her, it kind of bounced up and hit her in the face.
That's what I was, we had to lean out. I couldn't tell if that was, they're calling for the trainer.
Well, they're pretty adamant on getting her out here quickly.
I also think maybe she landed on her shoulder. I think she's holding her right shoulder, so we hope she's okay.
It's hard to tell from our angle what's going on down the line there. It looks like she kind of had her hand to her face, but you also mentioned the shoulder.
While they take a look at her, Abigail Knight will stay alive, as that one was hit pretty hard, Austin.
That was, and I thought that was going to get down right on the line, but great job by Minish tracking over to make the play. Obviously, it was in foul territory, but that was going to work out for them either way, because with only one out, that would have moved Chansey from second to third on a sac fly. But as they still look to attend to her, she's still on both knees out there, both trainers out there now.
Yeah.
Everyone taking a look at her, making sure she's all right, including everyone in the infield.
Yeah, Clemson meeting on the mound. I think they might be testing for maybe a concussion. I think they're maybe shining. I don't know.
Well, it looks like it hit her, maybe her mouth. That's what I want to guess, because when she came up, she was kind of checking to see if there's blood. It looked like she was pulling her hand from her lip. I'm unsure. That could be false information on my end, but definitely looking at her in the face. I don't think it's necessarily a shoulder issue, unless she comes up holding it. She's still bent over.
Yeah, she hasn't gotten on her feet yet.
I mean, that was a full dive. Like, she really
she
laid out for that one. She traveled a couple feet midair. So definitely an all-out play from Minish, but it was the way the ball hit. Like, she just missed grabbing the ball out of air, and where she landed was exactly where the ball landed as well, so it popped up right into her face.
Well, if she's getting to her feet.
The applause from the crowd. That's a good sign to see that she is on her feet. She's gathering her things. We'll see if she stays in the game or not.
I don't see anyone coming to replace her for Clemson.
Still holding her mouth.
Does she have her hat?
She's kind of She might have lost a tooth. She's kind of pointing at her mouth, and everyone's checking it out.
Oh, my God.
And they're kind of having a chuckle at it now. Second baseman Maddie Moore kind of just went out there, looked at it, and is still laughing. She might have lost a tooth from that softball.
I know she lost her hat.
Glad she's okay.
Anyway, we're going to resume play here. Abigail Knight, 1 for 1 on the night. It's a 2-2 count, 1 away, runner on second. McCubbin, that pitch is hit over to second base, collected by Moore, fires it over there for the second out of the inning, but it moves the runner over to third, Ella Chansey.
Yeah, Chansey, to recap the bottom of the third here, which feels like it's been going on for so long now, stole that second base. Then they took Al Basinger, and now she's over at third on the sacrifice ground out. But Natalie Heath homered against Texas Tech this past weekend on Saturday. See if she can score.
The one run in that game.
Yep.
That pitch misses inside from McCubbin. Yeah, Heath, a 750 slug percentage on the season. 12 of her 21 hits are extra base hits. I mean, she is a tank. And now we step in, and that one is fouled away. And when she makes contact with it, the ball flies. We've seen it all year long. But she was able to leg out an infield single that scored a run on Sunday against Texas Tech. So, I mean, it's about the culture and the selflessness of this Carolina program under Ashley Chastain Woodard. As the 1-1 pitch from McCubbin, that one is lofted into left center. It's going to hang up there and be fielded by Brockenbrough for the third out. So McCubbin comes in for Clemson in relief of Basinger and gets out of the inning, stranding the runner on third. It's the first clean inning for Clemson. We head now to the top of the fourth with the score still South Carolina 4, Clemson nothing. We'll see you guys after the break. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us after 3 innings of play. It's 4-0 Carolina against Clemson, the number 10 Gamecocks and the number 23 Tigers. Austin, for Clemson, they haven't gotten a leadoff batter on so far in this game. How important is that for a team?
It's really important. We saw it in the first inning from South Carolina. You get 2 guys on, and Rhodey goes yard, and all of a sudden you get 3 runs in just 3 at-bats. So it's really important to get everybody you can on base, but especially that first one. You would rather play with a lead instead of digging yourselves out of a hole like they have to do on the score sheet and on the field.
And Julia Noller steps in for Clemson, batting .351 on the campaign, 0 for 1 tonight, 10 home runs, 12 doubles. Neely Lamb sets, delivers, fouled back. So first pitch strike for Neely Lamb, who, you know, these last couple innings, either South Carolina's been scoring or someone may have lost it too. So there's been a lot of downtime for the starter for Carolina. Lamb winds, fires, misses for ball 1.
Yeah, a lot of the games this weekend against Texas Tech went really quickly. This one's kind of slowly, methodically coming along. Yeah,
well, the first couple innings went about, it's been about an hour. Wow. Neely Lamb's going to set, fire. And that one, an excellent curveball, just froze Noller for the 1-2 count now. Lamb looks at her wrist. She sets, winds, fires the 1-2 pitch. Misses inside, did not go. They check down to the third base umpire. So the count runs the count runs 2-2. I'm getting ahead of myself. Neely Lamb winds, fires. That one is hit. Over to second base, fielded, fires to first for the first out of the inning.
Dangerous kind of play from Shelton there. That was a really slow dribbler down over to second base. Very quickly got it over to first in time, but it was just a couple steps away from a ugly single for Noller.
No, yeah, I mean, and Noller was booking it, so big props to her. And now it'll be Macy Cintron, the true freshman. That rise ball misses high. Cintron batting .323 with a .591 slugging percentage, 6 home runs, 7 doubles, 16 walks. 0 for 1 on the night, though. The true freshman facing Lamb, who fires on. That one's in there for a strike, making a 1-1 count. Hasn't been necessarily the most efficient outing, as Lamb's at 61 pitches here in the top of the fourth. But that one is in there for a strike. The fastball just rifles it home.
Well, we saw the circle meeting from Chastain Woodard in the last inning, and we were curious if we would see a pitching change. A couple are kind of standing around in the bullpen, but they're sticking with Lamb here in the fourth.
Yeah, she's rolling. Why not? As the 1-2 pitch is cut on over to third. Fires to first for the second out.
Great play by Ella Chansey there. That was a tough hop right in front of the third baseman, but she zips it on across the diamond over to first to get the second out.
Yeah, and yet another weak contact from Clemson, Austin.
Yeah, they keep putting it in play. They just can't get enough contact on it, can't get the barrel on it. Nothing's really been in the outfield for Clemson so far.
Now stepping in is Abby Vieira, the catcher. And she grounds it over to first. Rhodey makes the quick play, and that retires the side in order.
3 up, 3 down.
Neely Lamb cruising scoreless through 4. Your score as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Number 10, South Carolina 4. Number 23, Clemson 0. We'll catch you guys in the home half of things after this break. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here for the bottom of the fourth inning of action between South Carolina and Clemson. Leading it off for the Gamecocks in the bottom of the fourth, it's the shortstop, the 8-hole hitter, Brooke Blankenship. That pitch is in there for a ball. So Blankenship, who has 11 walks on the season, takes ball one. McCubbin has only issued 15 walks on the season in 63 2/3 innings. And that curveball is in there for strike one.
Feels like South Carolina has been dominating this game, and I'm not going to say it's only 4-0, but we've talked about how quickly Clemson could get back right back into it once they get the bats going. This is a big inning for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, you know, they didn't score for the first time last inning, as that one is fouled away by Blankenship to make it a 1-2 count.
And they were close. They had left a runner on third, but they were just one at-bat away.
And the pitch misses wide, so that'll be a 2-2 count now. Brooke Blankenship, 12 strikeouts on the season. McCubbin looking in, winds, fires, misses high, so the count will run full, 3-2.
Good opportunity for another leadoff batter to get on base for the Gamecocks.
Now the 3-2 pitch. That one is rifled back up the middle into center field for a leadoff single for Brooke Blankenship. I mean, she just squared that one up and sent it right back where it came. Emily Vinson steps in, the senior. 0 for 1 on the night.
Grounded out to second, back in the second inning.
As the first pitch, low for a ball. Makes it a 1-0 count. That's been the big problem with Clemson's pitching tonight. They have very rarely gotten the first pitch strike. They have just been allowing South Carolina to dictate these counts from the batter's box, and that's just not what you want to see. And now McCubbin fires in. That one misses inside, nearly hits Vincent, and then nearly gets away from Vieira.
Blankenship thought about going. She kind of hesitated towards second. We've already seen one stolen base tonight. That was from Ella Chansey last inning.
Now McCubbin, as we have action in the Clemson bullpen. That pitch misses for ball 3. That one, I think it just missed a little bit inside.
Yeah, home plate umpire Eddie Hall. He's been calling it tight tonight. And there's another tight call.
Yeah, and then that one misses high for ball 4. So a walk for South Carolina. Puts runners at first and second. And Quincy Lilio is back up.
So third walk of the day between the two Clemson pitchers. Basinger had 2, and now McCubbin's first.
Well, now they've scored it as a single in the second inning for Lilio on that bunt that ended up, she advanced a second on the error. But Lilio, a single in the first, scored a single in the second. She's 2 for 2 on the day. A .462 batting average, the left-handed hitter. And a 1-0 count. McCubbin fires in there for strike 1. And Lilio bats .480 with runners in scoring position, which is just unheard of.
Jeez. Yeah, 21 RBIs on the year.
And McCubbin looks into her wrist. Winds, fires. And that one is just hit back to the pitcher. She fakes to third, fires over to first to get Lilio. She thought about going for the leadoff runner, but she takes the sure thing for the first out of the inning.
Well, Alex Brown was kind of played more in. She was way in front of the bag, and as she was running back to get there, Brooke Blankenship was beating her to the bag, so that's why McCubbin just kind of pump faked and then got the out at first.
Now steps in Carly Shelton, and she watches the first pitch for a ball. A walk and a double that scored the Lilio bunt from second. And Shelton, the left-handed hitter, looking to continue her perfect night as that pitch is down and away for ball 2.
This is really ideal for the Gamecocks. Second and third, just 1 out. No force out except for first base. This is really big for Carly Shelton and the offense.
And McCubbin looking into her wrist. Winds, fires. And that one is ripped into right center. It's down. We got runners coming around third. And Knight will just run, or Vincent will just run on back to third. Vincent was right behind Blankenship. Blankenship scores to make it 5-0 South Carolina, and Vincent holds up at third.
I'm really interested how that happened. I was looking where the ball went.
Well,
I turned around, and Emily Vincent from second base was right on the coattails of Brooke Blankenship.
Blankenship held up. I guess she wasn't sure if it was going to get caught or not. But it's another RBI for for Carly Shelton.
Yeah, her second of the day. And that brings up Ariana Rohde, who's also got 3.
Yeah, hit a 3-run home run in that first inning that started all this. In the second inning, didn't do that. But now with a 1-0 count to work with, a .930 slugging percentage for Rohde. And Rohde knocks that one into foul territory.
So right on cue, right when I said this is a golden opportunity for the Gamecocks to extend their cushion of a lead, a great hit in the right center, short right center field, scores a run, and now as long as they don't get a double play here, they'll have another chance at scoring another run.
And McCubbin fires high.
I hope I didn't just announcer jinx them. That would really suck and not look good for me. But
it could always be worse.
That is true.
McCubbin in the 2-1 count. Winds, fires, and Rohde launches that one foul.
Shelton took off from first. She was stealing that base no matter what.
Yeah, trying to knock the double play out of contention. Now it's a 2-2 count for Rohde. 15 strikeouts on the season. McCubbin looking at her wrist. Strikeout here would be huge for her and Clemson. McCubbin rocks, fires. That one is launched into shallow left center, but it's caught on a line. The throw home is no good. Vincent scores on the sac fly. Shelton tags up at first and is at second. And Ariana Rohde does what she needs to do and gets a run home.
Well, the ball got away from Vieri behind home plate. Shelton was 75% of the way to second base when Brockenbrough made that play out in center field. She had to go back, tag, get back to second. So Gladder's thrown away. Now it's a 6-0 game. And
Ella Chansey steps in with a runner in scoring position, looking to add on, and nearly knocked Winters in the head in the on-deck circle.
Well, it's a good thing Lexi Winters is a catcher. She has that quick reaction time. That was pretty close.
Yeah, Chansey 0 for 1 on the night with a walk.
That's Rohde's 4th RBI on that sacrifice fly.
That one is launched over to short. Fired to first for the 3rd out. So, 2-run score in the bottom of the 4th extends number 10 South Carolina's lead to 6-0 over number 23 Clemson. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you guys for the start of the 5th inning of action. And we are back here for the 5th inning of action between the Clemson Tigers and the South Carolina Gamecocks. Austin, South Carolina has put themselves well out in front with a 6-0 lead. But with Marion Collins in this Clemson lineup, it's never quite a safe lead.
Absolutely not. It makes me feel better that it's 6 instead of 4 or 3 like we saw for a couple innings there, the first 2 innings of the game. The offense is doing their job. So has the defense. They just need to keep doing so. And Neely Lamb needs to keep firing it on the mound because she's been doing great today.
Yep, out for her 5th inning of work, and that one is rocketed foul into the netting by Collins. 0 for 1 on the night.
With a flyout.
Strikeout.
Excuse me, a strikeout.
Yeah.
Sometimes I struggle with.
I saw what you were looking
columns.
at. Yeah.
I struggle with columns. But Colin. God.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, Neely Lamb looking in the 0-1 count. Winds, fires. And that one's in there. Neely Lamb is just
working.
She is delivering tonight on all fronts. Everything's working for her. The fastball, the riser, the curveball, everything is just working in her favor.
Absolutely. And an 0-2 count here against Collins. Lamb winds, fires.
Misses high.
And the outfield's got to be bored. Like, they haven't done anything all game. Everything's been so in front of them. It's been, to Chansey, to Shelton, all those little dribblers, those weak contact hits like you've been mentioning tonight, JP.
Yeah, I think Lilio had 1 catch in center field. That's it. The 1-2 pitch, and that one is sent into right field. Back is for the catch is Knight, who has it at the warning track right before the wall. It's kind of hard to tell. We had to almost fell out of the press box up here. But, Collins gave that one a ride, but hit it right to Knight. Just some, it's just not been Clemson's night so far.
No, it has not. They keep missing the barrel of the bat by just a couple inches. They're making contact. Neely Lamb has 3 strikeouts, but ever since the 1st or 2nd inning, it's been good contact from Clemson, just not great.
Yeah, 2 of those Ks came in the 1st inning as Sam Minish fouls that one back for strike 1. Her 3rd came in the 2nd inning, and ever since, she hasn't been. I mean, she's been in 2 strikeouts, but she's just been working very efficiently.
And it's been a lot of 3 up, 3 down. The 1st, 3rd, and 4th inning have been 3 up, 3 downs. So it's been really just solid baseball, no mistakes for South Carolina.
And Lamb now, the 0-1 pitch misses high for ball 1. Minish has 18 walks on the season, a .316 batting average, 0 for 1 on the night. Had the hit out to center that Lilio had to field at the warning track. Lamb toes, winds, fires, misses low for ball 2.
Yeah, so we're over halfway through this game now, and we thought Clemson kind of just got off to a slow start, but it's been all night, JP. What's kind of interesting is those contacts. Like, they're fouling off balls, they're fouling off pitches. Just like that, they foul another one off of Minish's legs. But Neely Lamb has just been so solid tonight.
And she hasn't let the hitters get comfortable. I mean,
no.
First pitch strikes, setting up advantageous counts, pitching inside. And she's gotten hitters to expand as well and hit pitch and swing at pitches they really shouldn't for weak contact and outs. Now it's a 2-2 count. Minish going to break the streak. Lamb winds, fires, swung on and missed. 4th strikeout of the game for Neely Lamb. The 2nd out of the 5th.
That's a good one. Now with 2 outs, that brings up Kylie Johnson. This is the bottom of the lineup. This is where Clemson should never really get a hit, especially with the starter Neely Lamb on the mound. I know we use starter loosely because of how deep this bullpen is.
And it's 6 straight batters retired for Lamb. She's going up against Kylie Johnson, who's been active in left field. Takes ball 1.
Rhodey and Chansey kind of really crept in there as Johnson showing bunt.
So a rare non-first pitch strike, but maybe a good one there to avoid the bunt. Lamb winds, fires, swung on and missed.
That was a big cut from Kylie Johnson. She was swinging for power there. Good speed, though, from Lamb.
Yeah, Kylie Johnson, only 9 hits on the season, but 2 of them are home runs. 16 strikeouts to go with 6 walks. So 1-1 count. Lamb sets, winds, fires, and it's popped up. The shortstop Blankenship says she has it, and she does. So 7 straight batters retired for Neely Lamb. Another clean inning of work. She's through 5 shutout. And it's a 6-0 lead still for South Carolina. We head now to the bottom of the 5th, and we'll be right with you after this break. And we are back here for the 5th inning of action between South Carolina and Clemson. The number 10 Gamecocks lead the Tigers 6-0. And it has been a steady stream of scoring. 3 runs in the first off a home run by Ariana Rohde. 1 run in the second, and then 2 runs last inning. And leading off for the Gamecocks here in the bottom of the 5th is Lexi Winters, the catcher, 0 for 2 on the night, but a strong hitter. She's going up against Brooke McClubbin, who's working her second, third-ish inning of work.
Second and a half, yeah, close enough.
That one misses for ball 1. McClubbin fires. That one is popped up, but into the netting above the Carolina dugout.
Lexi Winters has put the ball in play tonight, just hasn't really been able to get a lucky break. She she flew out to right field and then grounded out to third in the third inning, excuse me. So she's just looking to find the gap, can't find it yet as she fouls that one back.
Yeah, so it's a 1-2 count now after Winters fouls that one away. And the Mario music plays, that's fun. McClubbin here with the 1-2 count, looks in her wrist. Fires, hit foul. So Winters staying alive.
She was ready for that one. She was ready for the off-speed pitch as she kind of waited on that one, shifted her weight, but
she was way early
still got ahead of it.
Yeah, I mean, she pulled that one into the Clemson dugout. So McClubbin looking into her wrist. Settles, winds, fires, and it's fouled off by Winters again.
Keeps battling, staying alive here. This is good against Brooke McCubbin for the Gamecocks. Just keep working the account. They already got to basing her and definitely got in her head mentally, rattled her just a little bit. If they can do the same to McCubbin, who knows what's going to happen next for the Tigers.
And opponents batting 4-13 leadoff against McCubbin. And that one is softed over to the shortstop, caught by Collins, and it retires Winters for the 3rd time tonight.
Again, she's trying to put it in play and has done so all 3 times she's been at bat, but just has not been able to find the gap, and that came off the bat just a little too weird. Definitely choked her up a little bit, and that caused the soft hit over to short.
And Abigail Knight steps in for South Carolina, 1 for 2 on the night with a single. Swung on and missed there from McCubbin. So it's an 0-1 count.
Basinger liked to use the speed. She threw really powerful pitches. McCubbin, at least this inning, has been really taking a lot off of it, trying to confuse South Carolina.
Yeah. The 0-1 pitch bounces in there for ball 1. McCubbin, like I said, second most starts on this Clemson team. She gives this team a lot of length. And now the 1-1 pitch. In there for strike two. And Abigail Knight, 341 average on the campaign. But the 1-2 count here from McCubbin. McCubbin winds, fires. Swung on and missed. Abigail Knight goes down swinging for the first strikeout of the game by a South Carolina batter.
Wow.
I mean, I guess it had to happen at some point, Austin, but I was holding on to that one in my back pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just a testament to how good the offense has been tonight. Even when they're getting out, everything's been in play. They're making Clemson work for it.
Now stepping in, Natalie Heath watches that one miss down and away for ball one. So 2 outs here for Heath, who's 0 for 2 on the night. Fly out to left field and a ground out to the pitcher. So far, McCubbin fires, and that one is sawed into right center, but Moore is going to range over to it. So 3 up, 3 down for the Clemson pitching staff. They settle things down after a 2-run fourth. No score in the 5th inning. We head now to the top of the 6th with the score still South Carolina 6, Clemson 0. We'll be right back for the 6th inning of action after this break. And here we are back for the 6th inning of action between Clemson and South Carolina. Clemson down to their final 6 outs of regulation, and it's Jamison Brockenbrough leading it off here in the top of the 6th for the Tigers.
Yeah, this is a big, big inning for the Tigers. They got to get at least something back. 6 runs is very hard to overcome in an inning. We saw on opening night the Gamecocks did it against Virginia, but it's a tall hill to climb, especially for this Clemson team.
And Brockenbrough 0 for 1 on the night. That's the thing about Clemson. They just haven't had many opportunities for any of their hitters because they've just gone down in order. It's been 7 straight retired batters. And that one breaks the streak as Neely Lamb runs inside and clips Brockenbrough. And a hit by pitch gives Clemson their first leadoff base runner of the night.
And Chastain Woodard looking over towards the bullpen.
That might be it.
And, yeah, they're going to Eddie Hall behind home plate. I mean, what a night for Neely Lamb. That's the first mistake she's made all night. That was her first real wild pitch, too.
Yeah, 5 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 18 batters faced, 77 pitches, only 2 hits allowed, no walks.
Here comes Sam Gress to try and close this one out.
And Gress, a player we saw a lot of against Texas Tech, really the whole weekend against the Red Raiders. She came in to try and settle things down as Lamb will get a standing ovation from the South Carolina faithful for her outing tonight. And, I mean, very deserved, Austin.
Absolutely. I keep mentioning it. I sound like a broken record, but she's been phenomenal tonight. And like you just mentioned, Brockenbrough getting hit by the pitch is the first leadoff runner on base all night. And that's just a testament to how good this defense has been. Everything's been in front of them, but Neely Lamb was the conductor in all of that. keeping everything low. Nothing really got into the outfield except for a couple short flyouts. But, yeah, Sam Gress, another one from Charlotte that Ashley Chastain-Woodard brought over with her. She's originally from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, but another second-team All-American Athletic Conference and American Athletic Conference All-Tournament team.
Now, she did get charged with the loss on Sunday against Texas Tech, which was unfortunate because she kind of came in to clean up with runners already on, and then they were all kind of compounded from there as Texas Tech started coming back. But for Gress, a 3.15 ERA on the season. Not bad.
No, not bad at all. She's definitely been very good for this South Carolina defense. And like I mentioned, from Charlotte, Chastain-Woodard has a lot of trust in her. She lets her go for a long time. And like this past weekend, we see her come in about in the second half of the game, the last few innings, and she's done a really good job closing it out. Obviously, that one on Sunday was unfortunate, but she's looking to get back in the win column, hopefully. I think they'll give it to Neely Lamb tonight if if things go well.
She went 5 complete, so I feel like
yeah.
I know in baseball it's if you leave after 5 with the win, but with softball only having 7 innings,
right,
probably like 4. So Neely Lamb should be well in line for a much-deserved win. But here comes Alex Brown and the top of this Clemson lineup. With a runner on first and no outs to work with. So Clemson with a chance to cut into this lead. Brown singled in her last time up. And that one misses for a ball.
I wouldn't be shocked if Clemson kind of gets a little aggressive with the base running here.
She's got to manufacture things. Brown batting .489 with runners on, the leadoff hitter for the Tigers. Struck out her first appearance before the single. And Gress's pitch misses there. So it's a 2-0 count for Brown, who has 20 walks on the season.
Gress just needs to take a deep breath and find that pitch that works for her. 2 balls is not a great start, but she'll get back into this count here.
And Gress winds, delivers. And that one's in there for the strike. The fastball clips the zone. Makes it a 2-1 count.
And this is the top of the lineup for Clemson. So this is big opportunity for Clemson and a big opportunity for Sam Gress to really help get into the 7th inning defensively.
Now Gress winds, delivers, and a bunt attempt by Brown goes foul. Not sure. I'm not sure I really rock with that.
Yeah.
That'll even up the count at 2-2, though.
I knew they were going to get aggressive, and I wasn't surprised to see it, but a bunt was not on my bingo card.
You just don't want to take, in my opinion, I don't think you want to take the bat out of one of your best hitters' hands.
No, you don't.
With one of your
especially your leadoff.
One of your few chances to have with a runner on. But the 2-2 pitch, and that one is rocked into left. It'll hang up in the air, though, for Vincent, who collects it for the first out of the inning.
Vincent had a big weekend against Texas Tech. It felt like everything was going to her in left field. She's been kind of quiet tonight, hasn't had really much to deal with. That's her first play she's had to make tonight.
And, earlier the wind was really blowing out to left field. We saw it with the home run by Roddy. It just carried out of here. But for Brown now, the wind has really died down, and it hung up there and nothing doing.
Yep.
So now it brings up Maddie Moore, 0 for 2 on the night. The pitch from Gress. Swung on and missed by Moore. Moore, 8 home runs, 7 doubles, .463 average. He has not left the infield. The 0-1 pitch is rocketed up the middle into center field for a base hit.
Brockenbrough thought about rounding second, but thought better of it. But Maddie Moore, first time we've seen multiple runners kind of on base here. It feels like, at least.
Let me consult the almighty scorecard. Yeah, it's the first inning that Clemson has had multiple runners on. It's the first time they've had a runner in scoring position. For Julia Noller, who has a .723 slug percentage, 10 home runs on the season, she has one swing from cutting this thing in half. The left-handed hitter swings on, knocks that one through the left side. And they're going to hold all the runners. Brockenbrough ran, I don't know if that was interference from South Carolina, but Brockenbrough couldn't get around the third baseman, Chansey.
Well, it looked like she was just planning to stand up on third and maybe thought her coach was saying go home.
I thought she was going to round it, but she couldn't get around Chansey. But now the bases are loaded after the single by Noller. I mean, what a good job by her to poke that one the other way, right under the glove of Chansey. So it might not have been, the path to the ball brought her into the base path.
Yeah.
But one away, a meeting on the mound. Gress looking to settle things down. It'll bring up Macy Citron. Citron has not gotten on base tonight. She's 0 for 2, but the true freshman is a base hit machine and has 26 RBI on the campaign. Her first at-bat with the bases loaded. That one is high for ball one.
Yeah, Sam Gress definitely a little overwhelmed right now. Just needs to settle down, take those deep breaths. Hopefully that circle visit was good for her.
Citron.
She can't get too wild here.
Yeah, Gress winds, delivers. In there for strike one.
And this will be big. This is a very big momentum builder for Clemson. And if they can get a couple runs here, they're going to be flying through these last couple innings. This is big for South Carolina if they can get out of this one.
And Gress looking in, winds, delivers, misses low for ball two. It's the count, 2-1 with one away. Bases are loaded.
And now we're hearing it from the Clemson dugout. They're starting to get a little rowdy with those bases loaded. They know how golden of an opportunity to get back in this game it is.
Yep, and Gress has the sign, winds, delivers. And that one is popped up behind the netting into the crowd. Hits an empty seat. For Clemson, it's Brockenbrough on third, who got on base with a hit by pitch. Maddie Moore hit a single up the middle, and Julia Noller hit a single to third base, or to left field through the third base shortstop hole. Those are your base runners for Clemson. It's Macy Citron in the batter's box with a 2-2 count. Sam Gress on the mound in relief for South Carolina. And she's going to wind. Fire. And it's rocketed foul. Just a bit out in front of the fastball was Citron.
That could have been really bad for South Carolina had that been fair and gotten down the line. Ella Chansey was playing close to the third base, so she would have had a good shot at it, but that was a rocket down the line.
It knocked Brockenbrough
it did.
On her tail. The count remains 2-2 for Citron. Gress looking in, she has it. She winds, fires, and it swung on and missed. Citron was way out in front of the breaking ball. And a crucial second out for South Carolina.
Yeah, that's big for Sam Gress, and she's fired up. She was talking to Citron. They were kind of jabbing at each other there. And now Vieira's up. This is a big final out if the Gamecocks can get it.
Vieira had Clemson's first hit of the game back in the second inning. She's 1 for 2 on the night. The catcher swung on and fouled back towards the netting. 2 home runs on the season, 12 doubles for the catcher Vieira. It's an 0-1 count with 2 away in what is Clemson's best chance so far to get some runs on the board here in a game that's 6-0 South Carolina.
This is really going to take the life out of them if they can't get a run. They've been looking for it all night, and finally it's here.
Gress winds, fires, swung on and missed by Vieira. So now it is an 0-2 count.
What a recovery from Sam Gress. Kind of got a little wild there, gave up a couple hits, but with the strikeout last at bat, now with a 0-2 count here, she's got a golden opportunity.
Gress looks, winds, fires, the 0-2 pitch, fouled away.
Oh, heads up.
Oh. Bobbled, but caught by a
little
fan.
Juggle act.
Vieira staying alive, though. 14 pitches already for Gress in this inning. And they've been very high-stress pitches. Gress is going to toe the rubber. The Carolina faithful is behind her. She looks at her wrist, as a sign, winds, fires the 0-2 pitch, high for ball one. Vieira thought about it but didn't chase. Gress looking into her signs. She has it. Winds and fires. Down low for ball two.
Sam Gress is just trying to get her to chase. Vieira's not budging.
Now, you know, unlike Cintron, who was seemingly sitting fastball there and waved at a curveball down and away, Vieira is playing this one by ear. Gress has her signs. Winds, delivers. Fouled away into the netting.
Great job by Vieira here, staying alive, keeping this at-bat going. She wants the best look possible.
It's really seeming like she's going to get it. As we head now to the bottom of the sixth inning, 6-0 South Carolina. We will join you after the break. Welcome back here for the bottom of the sixth inning as South Carolina looks to add on following a unbelievable ball in a 1-1 count. Up to bat for South Carolina, it's Brooke Blankenship, the shortstop. 1 for 2 on the night, a hit in her last time up. And that one is sent over to second base, and Maddie Moore makes an over-the-shoulder catch. She has been one of the few bright spots for Clemson tonight.
She's done everything. She's gone up and gotten it. She's got a backhand snag, and now that looked a little Willie Mays style.
Best way to put it.
But, wow, yeah, she's been on fire tonight. And everything that looks like it's going to bloop over into right field, it just doesn't. Now Eddie Hall's writing something down in his notebook. It looks like Chastain Woodard made a pinch hitter.
Yes, pinch hitting for Emily Vincent is Maya Flint, the freshman from Rockland, California. Flint bats .375 on the year, and this is her 9th at-bat of the season. And that one is rocketed foul. She was all over that one just a little bit early, was Maya Flint.
Well, if she was just a split second later, that could have been on the athletics track over there. That would have been a rocket. But Maya Flint likes to come in and hit in these last couple innings every now and then, especially in place of Emily Vincent.
McCubbin's pitch is hit up the middle. Moore collects it, ranging to her right, fires over to first, and gets the second out. So McCubbin, 1 out away from another clean inning. And Austin, it's going to be Quincy Lilio. 2 for 3 on the night, 2 singles. Stepping up here with 2 outs.
Yeah, Lilio now has 14 multi-hit games on the season. She's definitely a great bat for the Gamecocks.
Takes pitch 1 for a strike there as McCubbin just fired the heater. And McCubbin toes, winds, fires, bounces that one in there for ball 1. McCubbin in a 1-1 count fires, and That one nearly hits Lilio and misses for ball 2.
She thought about swinging at it too, but pulled it back just in time. Jumping out of the way probably helped.
Now McCubbin in a 2-1 count, looking to even things up. Fires, and that one is lofted into left, ranging over as two Clemson players. They collide, and the ball ricochets into foul territory, and
another error for the Tigers.
well, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how that one is scored, but Quincy Lilio is on second base again.
I mean, Kylie Johnson and Marion Collins just ran into each other, just didn't communicate, and that would have been the third out of the inning, so that's big time mistake for Clemson.
Yeah, as Lilio had been the beneficiary of 2 mistakes. Ruled a double, and we'll call it that, so a 3-hit game for Lilio. It's her first extra base hit. And that one misses inside, so a 1-1 count for Carly Shelton, who has been spectacular tonight. A walk, a double, and a single. All she's missing is a triple and a home run from the cycle, but I don't think she'll have enough appearances to do it. And McCubbin's pitch is sent right back to her. She fires over to first for the third out. So McCubbin gives Clemson another scoreless inning on the mound, and we head now to the top of the 7th with Clemson working with their final 3 outs. They have 6 runs to work with. We're going to head for a quick break here. We'll see you guys in the top of the 7th. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the top of the 7th inning. Marion Collins will lead it off for the Clemson Tigers. She is 0 for 2 on the night, with them down to their final 3 outs here at Beckett Field at Carolina Softball Stadium. And Austin, it's do or die time for Clemson.
Absolutely, and this is a great opportunity for the Gamecocks. With the bottom of the lineup, they kind of got through the thick of it last inning and survived, giving up no runs, shockingly. But this is Clemson's last 3 outs, like you mentioned, GP.
And Sim Gress back on the mound for South Carolina. Fires that first pitch in there for a ball. Bases loaded for Clemson in the top of the top of the 6th. Last time out, didn't get anything going. Now it's their bottom 4 hitters. Marion Collins will lace that one into the left center. And that one's going to bounce off the wall. Collins looking to stretch it into a double. And the throw brought that's Maya Flint. It brought her into the base path, and she collided with Collins.
Yeah, that was a big collision there. Oh, I thought it was going to be way worse. They ended up just clipping each other's legs. Both of them are kind of walking it off right now. Collins still hunched over just a bit. I thought they were going to slam right into each other. Thankfully, it's just a leg collision.
So it's Carly Shelton who was there on the collision.
There's a good throw from Emily Vincent out there and left. Kind of wasn't really on the money, kind of led to that collision in the middle of the first and second base path.
Yeah, I mean, it was, the ball was rocked by Collins, who's still being checked out at second base. And it dropped into left center, right in between Vincent and Lilio. And Collins is going to remain at second base with the leadoff double.
Well, that's really good for Clemson. One, to see that Collins is okay, but also get that leadoff double. That's a big start to this inning, and they need a lot. They are down 6, so they need a few more of those. But with runners in scoring position, they've got to capitalize whenever they can.
And now it's Sam Minish, who bats just .263 with runners in scoring position. That one's in there for strike 1 from Gress.
She's 0 for 2 tonight.
A strikeout her last time up.
A fly out to center back in the second.
Now an 0-1 count. Gress is looking in. She winds, fires. In there for strike 2. The fastball hits the top of the zone. So an 0-2 count here for Minish. Gress looks in. Gets her sign. Winds. Fires. And it's rocked into right center. Lilio and Knight both ranging on. Lilio makes the grab at the warning track. Collins has to come back. She didn't tag up and nearly gets doubled off there. What a catch by Lilio.
Yeah, Lilio going over her shoulder like a wide receiver in football, making that grab along the wall. Great job holding on to it. And then, yeah, like you mentioned, Collins just kind of took off, didn't really tag up in time.
Well, I think she thought that Lilio dropped it because
yeah,
when she made the initial catch, she kind of bobbled it a little bit, but she kept it in her glove. Now
right.
Steps in Kylie Johnson, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Kind of shot Clemson isn't pinch hitting here. And the rise ball misses high for ball 1.
Yeah, this is the 8th and 9th hole of the order for Clemson. Kylie Johnson and then Brockenbrough coming up. Neither of them, Brockenbrough has hit by pitch, but neither of them have a hit tonight.
And Johnson, the 1-0 count. Pitch misses low. Brockenbrough got that hit by pitch that started the rally that loaded the bases for the Tigers. You have to think if they had scored a little there, South Carolina might be sweating a little bit. But we look here now. It is a 2-0 count. Gress looking in. Winds. Fires. And that one is put into center field. Lilio charging on. She makes the catch. She fires to first for the double play.
Wow.
And an unconventional double play will end this one.
Wow, just like that. What a great play. She made all 3 outs there in the top of the 7th, made that over-the-shoulder grab. Really had to come up and grab that one, almost scoop it off the deck, and then the backhanded flip over to second base. That's an electric win for the Gamecocks, and that's season demanding for them.
Yeah, so South Carolina will move to 25-6 on the year. Clemson will drop to 24-10. It's the 3rd ever win for South Carolina over Clemson in softball, and it's by a score of 6-0 for the number 10 ranked Gamecocks. We'll be right back with a post-game wrap-up here from the press box to send you guys on home. Thank you for joining us here from the University of South Carolina at Beckett Field at Carolina Softball Stadium. Austin, a 6-0 win for South Carolina, and it really couldn't have come at a better time.
No, it really didn't. Before they go and play at number 4 LSU this weekend, this is a big last kind of non-conference big game win that they needed. They've won a few series. They now have 3 top 15 non-conference series wins. But getting another just ranked midweek win is really, really good for them. You know, they dropped one last week after their Georgia series, or before their Georgia series. So it's good for them to kind of get another tune-up against a really sharp team, a really hot team in Clemson.
Yes, and after traveling to take on the number 4 rated Bayou Bengals, they're going to be home for 5 straight games with a midweek against Wofford on April 2nd, that weekend series against Ole Miss, and then another midweek home game against Charleston Southern, as the team leads the crowd in a Gamecock chant to send everybody home happy here from Carolina Softball Stadium. I'm JP Barry. He's Austin McConnell. Thanks to our tech crew, Reece Nolting and Caroline Smith. We're SGTV, and it's been a pleasure bringing you this game. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.